Well, hello everybody, good afternoon, welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back, and today I've got an interesting video for you. Today I want to talk about wooden wicks. As you can see, I'm having a bout of candle making today, and I have these 3 candles here with wooden wicks on them. This one here, and this one, and last but not least, this one here. Now you can see that that wick is a little bit different, and that's really the topic of this video. Now for some of you, you might like string wicks, and I use that quite often, but recently a lot of my candles I've been using these wooden wicks, and the wooden wicks are very simple. They're just a little piece of wood, whatever length you need, and then you stick that piece of wood in a little holder here, just like this. And then you have the wooden wick holder. So you would pour the wax in a liquid form like you see here on these guys, and then you would basically just drop this down inside and center it. Make sure you center it really well, and then you let the thing solidify. And the factory wicks, which are these guys right here that I just showed you, these are the ones that come from the factory. I use those on both of these candles here. Now this one here, I'm using a balsa wood as an experiment. So I'm going to go ahead and light these up. Now you might be thinking to yourself that these wicks are too high. You need to trim those. And you're right. Normally I would. And I would use a set of diagonal cutters to trim them down. But what I want to show is that you don't really have to trim these. In fact, when you light them, they will burn down to whatever length they are supposed to be on their own. So if I just let that go here, you'll see that the wick will automatically go down as it starts to pool, make a little puddle there. It'll eventually make itself exactly what it needs to be. And you can see that that wick is working very well. All 3 of these candles that you see here have the exact same wax. The first 2 have the exact same wick. So like in this one, for example, if I trim it, say I want to get it a little closer to where it's supposed to be, something like that, then it doesn't have to do as much work as the first one did, but it'll still do its thing. You just have to light the corner, and it's wood, it'll burn. And as that wax starts to turn into a liquid, it'll start to pool, and that capillary action will take effect. And it works good. I like these, and I use these on all kinds of wax. I use them on tallow. I've used them with bacon grease. In the back here you can see I have a nice one burning. That one's been burning quite a while. So let's take a look at this third one here. This wick. This wick is made out of balsa wood. For those of you who might not be familiar with balsa wood, that's that really thin, light wood that they make those little airplanes out of. And I buy this at my local hardware store. This is $1.49, 1/16 thick, 3 inches wide, 36 inches long. Okay, so that's what I use. And that's really what I want to find out in this video. Can I use balsa wood to make my own wicks like I did in this one? Now I used one of these wick holders, okay, because these wooden wicks, as they burn up, I repurpose the candle and I still have the holder. They're made out of metal, so I just want to find out if balsa wood will work. So let's go ahead and light this up and see what happens. I want to see if this candle will do its thing, or will it go out? Once they start to pull like these other ones, is it going to continue? Is the balsa wood going to work? Again, let's not forget that this one are normal wooden wicks, and this is the one that has the balsa wood. Is it going to work? I don't know. I think it'll work, but I'm not sure. So far, so good. It's working. It's starting to develop a liquid. If your flame is too high, you can always adjust the length of your wick according to the flame, and the shorter wick will give you a shorter flame. There's been things that I've read on the internet that say when you use something like balsa wood that you need to soak it in olive oil overnight. I did not do that. What I'm hoping will happen is I'm hoping that the capillary action of the oil in the wax, once it gets this little pool here that we see, I'm hoping that that little pool will enter the wood and wick through. And so far it's looking like it will. Now I'm going to turn the camera off for a second. I'm going to let these continue, and then I'll kick it back on and give you an update. It's been a little over a half an hour. You can see the first one is doing well, the second one's doing great, and the third one's doing great. The balsa wood worked out just fine. The first one looks like it needs a little trim of the wick, because the second one, remember, the wick was a little bit shorter because I trimmed it, and it seems to have a really pretty flame. The third one is working. It never went out, so that's what we're looking at right now. While I've been waiting, this one had a chance to solidify. It's still warm to the touch, but looks pretty good. This middle one also had a chance to solidify. It's still warm also. And this one as well. Pretty cool. So I've got an empty container here. I'm going to be making another candle here in a minute, and you can see that it's got a hole in it. I use that for making char cloth, this tin. So I'm going to make something similar to this guy. Something like that. And even with the hole in the lid, it'll still put that candle out. No problem. And then of course you can make char. So that works out pretty good. So at this point, you know, I can come back and I can trim these if I wish to, but on this first one I'm going to leave that long because I'm going to pour another color above this right here on the top, and then I'll trim it once it's all done. Plus everything, I want it to solidify real good. Another thing to keep in mind is sometimes when you're making these candles, if they cool too quickly, they will get like real big dips in them and stuff. The wax cools too quickly and it'll really compress the wax down. So I like letting them cool naturally when I can. So far it's working good. It's making a good pool, which I just spilled a little bit. But it's making decent little flames. The pool is good. Looks like it's working out pretty good. So that's really all I'm concerned about, is that it stays lit. And it's doing that. In the winter time, if you were camping and you're in a tent, any one of these 3 candles you could use to help raise the temperature in the tent and help you from getting too cold. So I want to say thank you guys for stopping by today and checking out this video on using balsa wood as a wick for a candle. I hope you got some good, useful information out of the video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Is there something that you guys do when you make your candles that works out well? Do you make your own wooden wicks or anything like that? Let me know. And if you like the type of content that you see on my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure that all notifications are lit up when you hit that bell. And again, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.